Hi, I'm Susan Keefe from Rhubarb Cod, and today I'm making a PB&J silk pie. This recipe is a nostalgic riff on the American classic French silk pie. And yes, I know the word French is in the title, but this pie is as American as, well, pie. The French silk was a contestant in a Pillsbury-sponsored baking competition in 1951. Why the baker Betty Cooper attached the word French to it is up for speculation, but most say it's because of the airy texture of the pie. It's as smooth as French silk. French silk pie is typically flavored with chocolate and served in a blind-baked pastry crust. Blind-baked pastry crust. Blind-baked. I could say shell. Blind-baked pastry shell. Does that make that easier? Blind-baked. Or a pastry shell that has been blind-baked. That's very wordy. Blind-baked pastry shell. Sorry.
All good. Here we go.
Sorry.
It's really nice peering into your mind.
It's a strange place. The French silk pie is typically flavored with chocolate and served in a blind-baked pastry shell. But that's not what we're doing today. Today, we're flavoring our filling with peanut butter and adding a layer of raspberry pâte de fouille to serve as the J to our PB. We're also skipping the typical pastry shell in favor of an Oreo cookie crumb crust. Because chocolate and raspberry? Yes. Chocolate and peanut butter? Double yes. Also, I like a little contrast between my filling and my crust. Tanned filling in a tanned crust? No. It's pure aesthetics, of course, so if pastry is what your heart wants, go for it. Let's get started with the crust. Preheat your oven to 300 degrees Fahrenheit. Pour 2 cups of Oreo cookie crumbs into a large mixing bowl and add a 1/4 teaspoon of salt, whisked to combine. I like a fair amount of salt in my desserts. Again, I like contrast. But if you're not about that life, feel free to omit the salt altogether. Pour 1 stick or half a cup of melted unsalted butter over the crumb mixture. Stir until the mixture resembles wet sand. Pour the crumb mixture into a deep 9-inch pie plate and press it evenly into the base and up the sides. I like to use a measuring cup to help me with this. Transfer the pie plate to the oven and bake for 15 minutes. The crust will puff up a little, but it should deflate as it cools. Set aside to cool slightly. While the crust is cooling, let's make the pâte de fouille. Now I went with a raspberry pâte de fouille because to me the J in PB&J is always raspberry jam. I figure most people are either team raspberry or team strawberry. Thankfully, both berries will work in this recipe, so you can let your nostalgia drive. Before we do anything, make sure you have a candy thermometer handy. It's crucial to the success of a pâte de fouille. If you don't have a candy thermometer, you can simply skip this layer and move on and have a peanut butter and chocolate pie. Start by piling 340 grams of fresh raspberries into a large food processor. Blitz until smooth. Pour the mixture through a fine mesh strainer into a small saucepan. Force the juices through the fine mesh strainer using a rubber spatula until only seeds remain. Discard the seeds and place the saucepan over medium heat. Add a 1/4 cup of granulated sugar and 2 teaspoons of lemon juice. Bring the mixture up to 140 degrees Fahrenheit. Once the mixture reaches this temperature, add 3/4 cup of sugar and 1.5 tablespoons of liquid pectin. Bring the mixture up to 200 degrees Fahrenheit and then reduce the heat to keep it at that temperature for 2 to 3 minutes. Once the 2 to 3 minutes have passed, increase the heat and bring the mixture up to 225 degrees Fahrenheit. Reduce the heat once again and keep it at that temperature for another 2 to 3 minutes. Take the pâte de fouille off of the heat and pour it into a heat-proof vessel with a spout. Pour the pâte de fouille into the Oreo crust and swirl the pie plate to ensure it coats the base evenly. You'll want to move quickly through these steps as the pectin sets up very quickly. Let the pie cool on the counter for 30 minutes before transferring to the fridge. Chill the pie for 1 hour. While the pie is chilling, let's make the peanut butter silk filling. Now, traditional French silk pie is made using raw eggs, which I know wigs some people out, but that's not what we're going to do today. Make sure you have your candy thermometer handy, once again. Pour 2 inches of water into a small saucepan and bring it to a lively simmer. In a medium-sized mixing bowl, whisk to combine 3 eggs and half a cup of granulated sugar. Place the bowl over the saucepan, ensuring that the bottom of the bowl doesn't touch the water. You want the steam to heat the bowl and its contents, not the water itself. While whisking constantly, heat the eggs to 160 degrees Fahrenheit. Don't go beyond this point or you'll have scrambled eggs. And there you go, eggs that are still eggy but safe to eat. Whatever eggy means.
Not gonna define that.
I don't know, they're still egg-like. They're not like thick. Or they're thicker, but they're still like egg. They're eggy. They're eggy.
Eggs.
It's like the consistency of like eggnog or something like that. Or like the egg replacers that comes in cartons. Next, we're going to add 8 ounces or 227 grams of smooth peanut butter. Not the natural stuff. I adore natural peanut butter and I'm actually a crunchy girl, but in this case, we want that unnaturally smooth emulsion. Natural peanut butter has a tendency to separate, and we don't want an oily silk pie. Once the peanut butter is in, add half a teaspoon of salt and 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract. Stir to combine. Set aside. Place 10 tablespoons of softened, unsalted butter into the bowl of a stand mixer fitted with a paddle attachment. You can also use a hand mixer or a wooden spoon and some elbow grease for this. Cream until light and fluffy. Start adding the peanut butter mixture to the butter in thirds, scraping down the sides of the bowl frequently. Pour 1 cup of cold whipping cream into a large mixing bowl. Add 2 tablespoons of powdered sugar and whisk with a hand mixer or a whisk until stiff peaks form. If you do this by hand, you have my undying respect and admiration. Once the cream is whipped, fold it into the peanut butter mixture a third at a time. Keep folding until no streaks remain. Pour the filling into the chilled crust and give it a pleasing swoop with the back of your spoon. Swoop is the technical term. Decorate the surface of your pie with salted peanuts and fresh raspberries. Transfer to the fridge and chill for 3 hours, or until set. I chose to decorate my pie before chilling because the filling will set so much there'll be nothing for the toppings to adhere to. But if you're planning to add freshly whipped cream to your pie, you can garnish it after the chill time is complete. And there you have it, PB&J silk pie with an Oreo cookie crumb crust. I hope you try this one, and if you do give it a go, let me know how it went in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like it and subscribe to this channel. Thank you for baking with me. I'll see you all next time.